Hello, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. I want to walk you through the activity that I want you to do on Wednesday, Thursday, and do on Friday this week. So we've been learning about force pairs, how when there is an action, there's going to be a reaction. And those force pairs can be balanced or unbalanced. So we're going to walk through some practice problems today where you're calculating net force. So you're going to want to open up this activity, which if you're watching this video, you already have. You're going to want to open up two more applications. You're going to want to open up this one, which says calculating net force practice problems doc. So you're going to open up that. Just save it to your desktop. And then you're going to want to open up this PowerPoint. And you can read it in Canvas or you can actually upload it separately. So calculating net force. So what you're going to want to do is make your screen so that half of it is going to be the PowerPoint and the other half, let me just move this out of the way, is that Word document, which is right here. So let's bring that over and bring this over. Okay, so the directions say for each example, identify the direction. So are they moving in the same direction or opposite? That the main forces are acting on the object. 2, the method to calculate the force. So do you add the forces together or do you subtract them? 3, calculate the net force. So you need to actually do the problem to figure out the net force. And then identify if the forces are balanced or unbalanced. And we always want to use the unit newtons. So the first one is hot air balloon. So let's go ahead and do the slideshow. Okay, so with the hot air balloon, we have 5,000 newtons going up inside of the balloon, and gravity is pulling down with 4,000 newtons. So we need to go through and do each of these. So the first one, we need to decide, are the directions the same or are they opposite? Well, I can see that the arrows are going in two different directions, so that means that they are opposite of each other. So in your worksheet, you want to fill out opposite. You're going to type that in. Okay, so the second one is we need to decide to figure out the net force. Net force is the total force that's acting on the object. Would we add those numbers together or subtract them? Well, when they're moving in opposite directions, we're always going to subtract. So we're just going to write subtract in the second box. Then number 3 says calculate. So we need to do that math problem. So we need to take 5,000 newtons minus 4,000 newtons. And what we end up with is 1,000 newtons. And we need to look which direction is stronger. And in this case, we have more pushing up than pulling down. So that balloon is going to be rising up into the air, 1,000 newtons up. And then we need to decide if it's balanced or unbalanced. So we have to think back to what we've learned so far. If something is balanced, it means it's not moving. If something is unbalanced, it is moving. So since there is a force there, 1,000 newtons, it's not 0 newtons, it's 1,000 newtons, then we can say it is unbalanced. So you would just type these things into that Word document. Let's keep going. Okay, so number 2, we have 2 people moving a box. One person is pulling and one person is pushing. So the first thing we need to decide, are those forces working together or are they opposite? Well, when I look, they're both going in the same direction. So that means they're the same or together. Then we need to identify those forces and decide, is it going to be a subtraction situation or an addition? Well, since they are both working together, it's an addition situation. We need to add those two values together. Then we need to actually go through and do the math problem. Well, we have 75 newtons is the guy pulling, 100 newtons is the guy pushing, and if we add those two together, we're going to get 175 newtons and it's moving to the left because that's where the stronger force is. Then we decide, is it balanced or is it unbalanced? Well, there is movement. There is a value for newtons, so that means unbalanced. There's movement. So type these answers into your worksheet if you haven't already. Okay, number 3, the bowling ball. So take a moment and I want you to think about, are you starting to figure out how to do these 4? Well, as I look at them, I have an arrow going to the right and an arrow going to the left. Are they going in the same direction? No. So they're opposite forces. Well, if they're opposite, then I know mathematically I'm always going to subtract. So if I take 60 newtons minus 10 newtons, the overall net force is 50 newtons to the right because it's stronger going towards the right. The 60 newtons will overtake the 10. If it's moving, I automatically know it is unbalanced. Hopefully you're starting to figure this out. Tug of war. Tug of war. We have one person pulling to the left, one person pulling to the right. So the forces, are they same or opposite? They are opposite. If they are opposite, do we add or do we subtract? We always subtract. They're working against each other. So we have 90 newtons minus 90 newtons. The net force is 0 newtons. Are these two guys going to be moving? No, they're not. So in this case, it's actually balanced. All right, so hopefully you're typing these in as you go. You can always go back to the PowerPoint and go through it on your own as well. All right, number 5. We have a person hitting a baseball. We have an arrow pointing down and an arrow pointing up and out. Those forces are opposite. I'm sorry if you can hear my puppies. They're playing on the floor down here in my dining room. All right, so with these forces, if they're opposite, we are going to subtract them. So we have 150 newtons minus 70 newtons. So that means the net force is 80 newtons up and out, right? That ball's going to go up and out. Is it balanced or is it unbalanced? Well, if we have a value for 3, if we have a number there other than 0, we know it is unbalanced. These pups, they are being so loud and obnoxious. I'm sorry about that. All right, the last example I'm going to do with you today is 6. We have an airplane. I see right away arrows are going in opposite directions. If it's opposite, we're always going to subtract. So we have 2,200 newtons minus 800 newtons. Let you do that math. It should be 1,400 newtons up. So this airplane is taking off. It's not landing, it's taking off. And the forces, are they balanced or unbalanced? They are unbalanced. I think you're starting to get it. I hope so. I feel like you are. So what you're going to do is you are going to continue to work through 7 through 12. By Friday, I want you to have typed in all of the answers here. You should already have 1 through 6 done, or you should be able to go back and fill in 1 through 6. And then 7 through 12 you can do on your own. Once this document is done, save it, and you're going to go back into Canvas, and you're going to hit the submit button that's up here, and then you're going to submit it. You can also submit it by email, on Canvas inbox, or through Remind. Now don't forget, you also have that Bill Nye video that you're supposed to watch and fill in the worksheet. That's the assignment for Monday and Tuesday, so make sure you submit that there. Okay, I hope you guys are well. I really miss you guys a lot. I miss seeing my first hour. Please take care. If you ever need anything, please let Miss Stallings know, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.